welcome to Cup of Joe with Poe. I'm your host, Don Poe. Today we're going to discuss rewarding bad behavior. Now, we've seen a lot of this of lately, especially in media. Now, there's this unsaid beef or war, or whatever you want to call it, between ideologies here, and between unseen controlling factors that people don't weigh in. Control the media, control the masses. Okay, now, recently there was a lady who called another person the wrong word. Okay, let's get something out of the way first and foremost. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the like button. Helps your boy out a lot. Now, let's get into this. There are no such thing as illegal words. Now, mind you, people have feelings and emotions, and some more than others. But a lot of us have not taken the time to grow enough and learn how to control our emotions. I call this emotional intelligence. If somebody calls you a name or a word, you have the choice to either get upset or not. Nothing to do with the words. It's all on yourself. How you conduct yourself. Do you let other people control you through words? A lot are. So, there was a gentleman in this park that had been convicted of some sort of child molestation or something of those lines, and he was hanging out in the park with a camera. So he happened to hear this woman call a child the dreaded N-word. Now, there's a lot of people that say crazy things. I've heard way worse. As a matter of fact, I heard a gentleman call for her child, the woman that used the dreaded N-word, for her child to be assaulted and made handicapped. Now, that's way worse than any word. Wishing some sort of bodily harm on someone. Calling someone Hitler is worse than the N-word. I could just think of a whole bunch of things, word-wise, that should affect somebody more than just that particular word, because, humans been here 750,000 years. Let that sink in your brain. Humans. This means nothing. This means nothing. It's just science. It's just basically the movement of man further away from the sun. That's all it is. Smaller nose. Make sure the air gets heated up better as we inhale it. Skin, further you are from the sun, the less pigment you'll have. Things like that. Real simple to understand, but people don't. People get stuck in their ideologies and boxes. If you're not claiming your race as your ideology, then you're claiming maybe your ethnic background, like whatever country you're from, or the language you speak, or people just have to put themselves in some kind of box. They can't just be a human being. I mean, that's too easy, right? Just to be a human being. Then once you're a human being, words don't affect you like that. Once you evolve. But society is de-evolving. They are getting dumber, slower. You have all these devices that can answer questions for you. People don't even pick up tangible books no more. I mean, look at libraries. What do we even fund a library for anymore? It's nothing but a haven for the homeless. We don't need libraries no more. Post office, what are they doing? They're just delivering junk mail. There's a whole bunch of services that we don't need no more due to electronics. So since electronics are so widespread on the planet, we're able to communicate like this. So this guy records this lady using the N-word, right? Even calls him this, and he sounds like he's Indian, but turns out he's Haitian. Now, mind you, he has been arrested of sex crimes and stuff like that. So what's he even doing at the park to begin with? Nevertheless, he actually had the audacity to tell this lady she broke the law. There are people calling for this woman to be arrested over a word. How childish, naive, how dumb are people to really think like that? Like, well, they should arrest her for that, for using a word. And I can think of way worse words. Literally, way, way worse words. You think that's the worst word ever invented? I mean, I can just go down a list of words. What if you're religious and GD? Wouldn't that be worse? Using the Lord's name in vain? Wouldn't that be worse if you were holier than thou and all into Bible thumping and all that? Did Jesus say something crazy about him? You know what I mean? Muhammad? All these different gods. You talk bad on them. Shouldn't that be worse than a particular set of people? Furthermore, why would anybody even hold on to and harbor something for so long? Because they're forced to. That's why. Through education system, through society, through music, through culture. Why let go of something? Hell, I mean, the Native Americans, why? The Jews, the Jewish people, they literally systematically collected them together, didn't work them, didn't give them a chance to, like, you know what, I'm going to let you work servitude off, or I'm going to let you work to earn your keep. None of that. They didn't even feed them. They just straight up annihilated them. You hear me? That's what they did to the Jewish people. Yeah, I mean, humans did that to other humans because of being stupid, really, is what it bears down to. We're at a cusp here. I feel before I die, I hope this society quits operating on these levels to where people are putting themselves in these boxes and categories so they can't see eye to eye with the next person. So there's always going to be a boogeyman. There's always going to be somebody out to get me. No, drop all that and just walk through life as a human being and live. Of course, there's real simple things. To do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Morality, ethics. For that woman to call that child a name like that is completely wrong. There's nobody defending that. Now, for the one boy to stab the other boy, now that was pretty bad. Those kids did not deserve any of that on either side. He didn't have to do that to him and go look for him like that and be in the area where he'd be. All this stuff, they will take and twist and manipulate either for their own benefit, for a view, a click, for their people, or a plight that they didn't even go through, or just something to bitch and moan and groan about and complain. Now there's this thing called black fatigue that people have been getting lately, and I totally relate with it because I'm sick of it too. We all are. I mean, I know everybody is. We're all sick of it. Nobody wants to deal with it no more. Nobody wants to tiptoe around words, or I might hurt someone's feelings if I might call them the wrong thing. If dude comes up and he's dressed in a dress, right? I mean, full on makeup and everything, but he has a beard. It's up to me if I want to say ma'am or sir. Truly it is. And if he's wearing a beard and all that, hey, what's up, dude? Sir. So what? Oh, is that gonna devastate somebody? If you're that weak, then get up through. That's what they need to actually do, is just start getting the weak up through. Get them up through. If they can't maintain, they can't operate, or if they hate America, ship them out and grab one of these foreigners that love America, that should be here, and say, you know what, we're going to switch places. We're going to take and put you in this person's position in their life, because they don't even want to live in America. They don't even like America. They hate Americans, and they're an American citizen. We're going to swap you out with them, because they're going to be like, Jorge's going to be like, I love it, America. And he's going to work that job, and he's going to do a damn good job. Watch what I tell you. It's real simple. Either get with the program or get up through. Quit trying to force people into doing things, putting them in these little boxes and categories. Now back to the whole point of this. Rewarding bad behavior seems to be a thing now. I wouldn't put it past people going to do something just so they can receive money somehow. You mean to tell me that Carmelo Anthony has gotten almost $1 million for murdering someone? Unaliving them? Let me watch my wording here. Unaliving someone, since that's the new way of saying it. I retract the M word earlier. So, and the N word. Words, man. Am I supposed to get mad if somebody calls me a cracker, a honky, peckerwood, and all that? Because I've been called all those. I've been jumped, I've been beaten, all that stuff. I'm not holding and harboring a grudge. Now, mind you, I did when I was younger. I used to really think, like, man, I can't believe I'm being treated like this. Blacks didn't like me. Whites didn't like me because I was dirt poor. The poor people have it the hardest, beyond color. And the poorest demographic in America are the whites of West Virginia. There are areas of West Virginia where they have dirt floors and outhouses. So sit here and tell me that the worst off and the poor off people are these, and these. If they would just quit keeping count of how many white, black, Asian, who gives a shit? Nobody gives a shit if you're white, black, Mexican, Haitian. I don't care. I don't care. As a matter of fact, as soon as I meet somebody and they want to make it a point to try to be all about a culture, I'm immediate, like, oh no, I'm done. I need to be around people that have evolved, people that are not, that people that are worldly too. Like, mind you, globalism is bad. Nationalism is good. To have pride in your country. There are people that I even respect that come to America and do it legally and then have pride for their country and will fly their country flag, but it would still be under the American flag because they know they're Americans first. Look at the Italians, for instance. And there's another instance. America. Have you ever heard this? It's been built off the backs of these people, that people. No. Listen. The people that built the buildings, the people that designed all that shit and did all that shit, that actually built the roads, built all this shit, was a whole bunch of Caucasian men, other than the railroad. Now, the Orientals, you want to talk about got a bad, oh man, what? They were literally like, the reality, here we go, we'll stray into slavery for a moment. Okay, now it works on so many different levels. Not just blacks were slaves. And as a matter of fact, the Muslims in the Middle East had enslaved the blacks for 2,000 years. Did you hear what I said? 2,000 years. And was castrating and beating and really torturing. But you won't hear about that or learn about that. All you're going to learn about is American history, which they don't even truly teach either. So, the Asians or Chinese that built the railroad system pretty much were in real chains. Like, not living on a plantation in a nice house that, you know, I visited plantations, as a matter of fact. We went through a tour in Resaca, Georgia. They have a big one outside of there you can go and visit. Nice quarters were, better than some of the homeless living right now. Mind you, there was no wage or compensation, and those people were done wrong. There's no way around it. Anybody. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, mixed. It does not matter the pigment of your skin. If you have been enslaved, it was wrong. Okay, even servitude, which to an extent I can understand. If somebody keeps messing up so bad and goes so far in debt and they won't pay it back somehow, fuck it. That's the equivalent of being locked up over child support. Instead of locking people up over child support, why not just force them into work to work the money off? It sounds like a win-win. I don't see how that's that bad. Well, you can't force people to do anything. Well, then how can you force somebody to not say a word? You know, bully them for generations of bullying over some fucking made-up ass shit that people are calling each other anyways? This shit is ludicrous. That's what I'm saying, to evolve, to grow, to not get angry or mad because you can't understand something. How about pick a book up? How about Google the word? How about just evolving? You hear me? Rather than this whole stuck in one place and mad at the world because the world won't conform to your way. How about you conform to the world and everyone just get along? That really can't happen like that. I'm so good at getting along with any walk of life. But I'm getting older, so I have like this smaller threshold of how much I can truly endure of someone else. To where I lose my patience and I want to say something, and plus I practice freedom of speech. I believe that's the most important thing we have as a human, especially as an American. Freedom of speech is everything, and there's no such thing as hate speech. There's no such thing as an illegal word. You can say whatever you want, and nobody has the right to assault you over a word. If you say some particular thing, words that just float around in the air, that even if, let's say you couldn't understand it, like someone is speaking in a foreign language and they said a word that was one of them words that were supposed to hurt people, do you think that's going to affect them if they can't understand it? Like, they'll speak some Spanish or something like 777, and then all of a sudden that word comes along, it's like, and it devastates the person on the other side, like, oh, I can't believe he must have said the word, I didn't understand it. But I mean, come on, this is just stupid. Emotional intelligence, I'm telling you, needs to be taught in school. Quit rewarding bad behavior. As a matter of fact, punish people properly too. Prison system needs revamped. It's too sweet, too easy. It's a giant party. I did 8 years in prison. They're playing PlayStation 5. There's pedophiles right now, real to life child molesters, playing PlayStation 5 in prison. They should not be. You're supposed to be there to be punished and to never want to go back. What do they care? Some of their lives are better in prison than they are on the street. And I mean this. I've seen people come in there and their life is better in there than it was on the street. So no more rewarding bad behaviors. Time for society to evolve. This has been Cup of Joe with Poe. If you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Hit the like button. It helps your boy out a lot. And I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's a very important one too, so stay tuned. 1.